We can just got the rental car squared away, taking off again. But we're gonna talk and you guys just watch the ride. We can go hit Middle Road, take Middle Road up. There's that Tribe shop. You want the Tribe shop or the Minor shop?
Mars. Because that shirt that we got, the other shirt that we got is for
Tribe. So where you find a manga shop?
I know it's
okay.
Garapan.
Garapan, okay.
Yeah.
Like drivable too, or
yeah, okay. yeah, like off the beaten path.
Yeah.
Something big. That's a light pole.
Light pole, yeah.
That's absolutely a light pole.
I mean, all these, it's popping me a bit through the parking lot. Terrible idea.
Yeah,
terrible idea. Yeah, 150's in the way. That light pole took out back.
Route 4.
Look at this way.
Dude, those are cinder block.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Too much cars that way. We could go out of the airport that way. That's the way. Actually, that's the way we came in yesterday.
Yeah.
That way seemed a lot better. Right here is the navigation lights for the airport that are no longer navigation lights for the airport. So yeah, I don't know how they're gonna get that type of stuff back up and running. Cell tower up there is still up. There's an antenna down on it. Difficult part about driving out here at night is there's no street lights at all, and trying to see these wires wherever they're at across the road is really difficult because they're at like basically eye level. So if you run into one of these things, you're going to take off the roof of your car. I saw some more of those metal tank over there. I don't know if those are water tanks
think they are.
I'm wondering if they're solar water
See,
heaters.
they've got. Oh yeah, I guess you can see that.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is they're using them for solar power to heat the water. Before they stop, right? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Big thing for everybody to remember: if there's no power and there's no stoplights, I see them. Everything turns into a four-way. But when it appears out here, a lot of people forget that. You can just see all the sheet metal. We're starting to get more of the southern side of the island, where it's more sheet metal roofs and that type of stuff. So we'll definitely start seeing a lot more of that strewn about. We were driving along the beachfront earlier, and basically the first half of the winds blew everything one way, and then the second half of the storm blew everything out towards the water on the west coast side. And you can just see sheet metal sticking up from the water and everything. So we saw people out there swimming. It's kind of brave. I would not go out there because the weird part is on the edge there's a lagoon for a bit because there's a coral reef a couple hundred yards out, a few hundred yards out, and so it's kind of a protected area in here close to the coast, and only really gets like waist deep in spots. I mean, and unless it's really high tide, then you're only like shoulder deep, maybe. So that whole lagoon area is just strewn with wood and trees and sheet metal and all this stuff that basically blew out there and then landed in the water. So it is a absolute mess. As you see in front of us, everyone's picking up wood and sheet metal, trying to get roofs back on because it's supposed to rain this weekend. So it's not so bad that they lost the roof. I mean, that's terrible, but to compound it, it just keeps raining every day. So everything inside their houses are getting soaked. And they're all out of tarps, they're all out of all that kind of stuff, so it's basically trying to get supplies that they can. Other places people had it stocked for some repairs they were doing or stuff like that. It's trying to figure out what they can use. But basically, I don't even know if these power lines are reusable, if they can restring them. I'm assuming all these transformers are shot because, I mean, they're smashed against the ground. So I don't know what that takes to rerun all that stuff.
That's a steel building.
Yeah. That's in ruins.
Destroyed.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, I'm just going to upload all of this to YouTube. I'm not going to worry about editing. I'm not going to worry about any of that kind of stuff. There's going to be times of silence. There'll be times you're going to hear us talk gibberish to each other. We're just driving around. We wanted to go do a couple things today. We don't really have anything scheduled. We've asked people that need help, let us know. So if anyone gives us a shout, we'll grab some gloves and head over and do what we can. It seems like most of these people are very prideful and don't want any help. It's kind of they look at it as a sign of kind of disrespect almost, because when people were asking for help, they're like, "No, why would I need help?" It's like, "Oh, okay, our bad. We're just here to help out if needed." So they're having shelters set up tomorrow that we were able to volunteer to work at one of those. So that's something we can do. We keep kind of asking everybody that we meet if they need any help, let us know. So if someone does reach out to us, we'll definitely jump on that. All these businesses and stuff down here that, like, one was a garment place we just drove by and one was a carpet place. They have everything outside because they're trying to dry it all because it all got soaked and they don't have any electricity. So everything's basically hung up outside. We saw some of the roofs. That roof we just drove by back there, they have clothes laid out on the roof trying to get them all to dry so they can then get them back inside. Yeah, we saw a list of, I don't know if you saw it, the governor at the UOC put out a list of places that were open, like restaurants and stuff, and gas stations. A lot of the gas stations are now rationing $50 max, and $50 sounds like a lot of gas, but it's like $4.55, $5 a gallon, so you're talking like around 10 gallons of gas. That's kind of what you're getting. A lot of the generators here are diesel, so there's like a bus flipped over.
It is a bus.
It's funny, we've seen a lot of like bus and transport vans and that kind of stuff. A lot of them are flipped, and I'm assuming it's because they had a higher center of gravity and they're so tall, the wind just caught them and flipped them over. Now we're kind of down in the Saipan area. This is there's a building down here we hung out at, is where we were locked in. It's the main communication building for the entire island. It's where all the fiber and stuff comes in at, so we were pretty safe. Of course, they still took damage. Roof hatch got blown off, door frames were blown out, stuff like that. Big signs on the front of the building were all ripped off, but it was still a concrete building, so we fared pretty well.
There's all the broken in half.
Yeah, broken in half telephone poles.
Shows the sheer force.
This is the Canoa Resort. It's actually one of the nicer resorts here. We came over here a week ago because they have this little like street vendor thing every Friday where they sell lasagnas. It's just kind of one of the big items that all the locals like because it's kind of a taste of the mainland, and the hotel restaurant kind of puts it out there. So we went there with them. We had the lasagna. It was good. It's different, but we were kind of looking forward to doing it again. We actually had some extra tokens we were going to use this week, but of course they're closed, and I don't know if they'll be back open next week or not. Most of the Joe 10s are open. Joe 10 is kind of like their Kmart, Walmart, whatever. They've got little shopping centers, and they've got a big Costco that actually used to be a Costco, and Joe 10 bought it out. It's now Joe 10 Superstore. So Joe 10's kind of the shopping area of the island. So those are mostly open. They're limited resources, but of course they have what they have. Go in and buy it. We heard the gymnasium's got to be down here somewhere. They said it was the ITE building, the school, the gymnasium's got to be down there, the blue. I think it's where they used to play soccer. There was restaurants down here that right here on the beach over on our left-hand side that we ate at that are not there anymore. So it was kind of crappy because, hey, you go to a place, you like it, you kind of start reflecting, hey, we'll come back here next week, we'll get this next time or whatever. The building's gone now. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's got to be in here. Or that red one. I bet it's that red one. Trying to figure out where we're volunteering at tomorrow because everyone told us to volunteer at this one spot. And then we're like, where is it? They're like, oh, it's just right over there. But yeah, right over there is kind of difficult if you're not from these parts. Cleanup crew's been out in full force. They've got a bunch of vehicles and it says like it's the mayor's workers. I don't know kind of how that works, but property of the mayor office is what a lot of these trailers and stuff say. This little sign, we'll look at the back side of it kind of as we go by. It'll say, caution, mayor staff working ahead. So I'm assuming the mayor's got like the cleanup crews and all that. I don't know how that works. That's gotta be it. That's the only thing that looks like a gymnasium over here. I bet it's gonna be in this parking lot area out here. Because they wouldn't have to drive through the gymnasium.
It's hard to get into.
Yeah. Well, unless they're trying to clean this up.
Yeah, I don't know.
This one bit right here.
Maybe.
We go down and around.
Doesn't say anything on it.
Okay.
There's office over there, yeah.
Go over here early, figure it out. Actually, we can probably head to ITV and ask them.
Yeah.
Take a picture of the building and head over there and ask them. Is this it? This is a beach drive. It's kind of the main thoroughfare along the beach here between Susupi and Garapan. As we get further up here, you'll see all the shopping centers and kind of the DFS mall, the big mall with all the Louis Vuitton and all that kind of stuff. This island's a huge tourist place for people from Eastern Asia, Western Asia, or whatever it is over there. China, South Korea, Japan, Russia, stuff like that, because it's U.S. territory, and from Hong Kong to here is a 6-hour flight. So basically it's a tropical island with all the amenities of America, takes US dollars, but it's a 6-hour flight away versus trying to fly to the mainland, LA. I think we did Hong Kong to San Fran and that was 16 hours. And I believe we were told that people from China and people from Russia do not need visas to visit this island based on the current nature of the visa program. So they can just come here for a week vacation and not worry about a travel visa or any of that kind of stuff. So it's why it's so attractive. And tourism is the #1 industry on this entire island. Every house you drive by, just like all the windows are open, everybody's sitting outside. They don't have power. So unless they have a generator, they don't have an air conditioner running. So most of them are just kind of letting everything air out and sitting outside because it's a lot cooler outside than it is inside. I don't even know what the temperature right now is outside. I don't see anywhere on the car where it tells me. Home screen. I don't know. Usually these cars tell you what the temperature is outside. Oh wait, it's on the dash. 86 degrees. It's 86 degrees outside. Humidity's actually pretty low today. Looks like it's gonna rain though. Yeah, it does. It's a rainstorm is coming over the mountains to our right. So the miles, or the island's like 12 miles north to south, and then east to west at its widest point it's like 3 or 4 miles. But there's this little mountain range that kind of goes right through the dead center of it from south to north. And usually when we get rainstorms in the afternoons, you can see them forming up near the top of the mountain, and they come across to the west, and we get rain. Up here, we're going to hit a lot of traffic. You'll notice to our right-hand side, they'll start forming off into a line. This is the line to get water. So all the water's been shut off on the island, so everyone's getting bottled water. I think they're limiting it to a certain amount per car or per pickup, or I don't know how they're doing it. I know some of the places we're doing it by house, but I don't know how they verify where you live. But there's a water place up here on the right. And as we get closer to it, you'll see a line start forming, and that's how long the line is just to get water. Yeah, one of them. Well, there's one long way out there. I'm surprised they don't have supplies on it. I saw a thing where the mayor's office put out that they're having the Coast Guard or somebody's inspecting, maybe the Port Authority, is inspecting the harbor, and then they're going to let light boats in after the initial inspection's done. Yeah, so this
Coast Guard this morning.
Okay. So this line right here, starting at the right, that's the line to get water. You see people with all these little 5-gallon water bottles in the back trying to get them filled. So far, we've been kind of lucky. We're not